Hi, welcome to my new speaker card. This one is going to be an in-depth analysis of your counterpart relationship, twin flame relationship, situationship, however you want to call it. And today we do have 3 piles. Pile number 1 is this rose quartz. Pile number 2, I don't know how this stone is called. And again, 3, don't know how it's called. It's this sparkling green one. So, I will be using the Crowley cards, tarot cards, and we have those extra oracle cards for, more in-depth guidance, you could say. Then we will be using charms and those messages that I have channeled from the Divine Masculine to the Divine Feminine. But we're going to start with pile number 1. I will put those aside for later. And as I said, I'm going to start with Crowley cards. If you want a quick checkup on your relationship, I do post love quickies as well. You can see those in my channel. Just a second. 5. Okay. And of course I'm also available for private readings. But let's see what you have right now. Okay. So I will have to clarify that later. Okay. Your overall energy is not that bad, but there's some things that both needs to work on. This side for me represents the Divine Feminine, and we do have the Divine Masculine over here. It has nothing to do with sex. The Divine Masculine can be incarnated in the female body and the other way around. Nevertheless, I am going to say she because most of the people I talk to are actually women and Divine Feminine. And I will say he or I will say you and Tim. But again, switch pronouns however it fits your situation. Divine Feminine. I can tell she's being tested a little right now. Not tested in a bad way. We have the Hierophant here. And for me, the Hierophant is the Divine Protection card. But it's also the card where we are led to things we may have oppressed, for example. And then we do have change, telling me there's a lot happening inside of her right now. And her mission or her task right now is to get to a place where she is feeling lighter, basically raising your frequency, raising your vibration. She may be overthinking a bit too much right now. I don't have any really bad cards with her right now, but I do have the tendency of overthinking and maybe trying to find explanations or needing to know things regarding him or other situations in her life. But the Hierophant for me also stands for divine timing, for things come to you when it is the right time. And right now, as I said, I do see her in the midst of changing. What she should take care of, I do have this card I don't like too much. You can tell there's poison coming out of those cups. And to me, this card may represent something like depression or also addictions. Doesn't have to be that bad. But to me, this card symbolizes that there's something dragging her down. It may be her own overthinking, for example, but it may be people around her, maybe disconnection, of course. But it could be something as simple as you have a friend who's not feeling well and you're just picking it up. You know, if you're being an empath, you constantly have to clear your energy. And this card tells me that her energy is not very clear, but I like that this card, if it has to come up, is right here and not in her heart position, because then it would be a bit more difficult. Then, I don't know when you're watching this video, but right now we do have portal days. And of course, things come up during those times and they can drag you down a little, but you are protected. And I do see this relationship protected as well, because in the middle we have the 10 of Pentacles. And this tells me that even if there may be some problems between you right now, even if you are not in touch right now, there's still a very firm, tight bond, and both of you want this relationship, and both of you wanted to go to a next level or to be really committed. What I see with Divine Masculine right now, there is also positive change. He has feelings for her, he loves you. We have this card though, and this card for me stands for being a little scared of rejection, being scared of not being good enough, being scared of not making it work. But he's also working on this problem because we do have peace with him. And also the card, it says luck or fortune. It's the Wheel of Fortune. The star in his head also tells me that he really wants this. He wants to make a move. He wants to tell her how he loves her. And we do have the Magician as well on his side. And the Magician is also a card that tells me that he wants to move forward. He wants to manifest it. He wants to take it to a new level. To me, just right now, it doesn't seem to be the right timing because there's still all this change going on. And then what kind of confuses me, I have to say, are those future cards, because it seems to me that there's another Tower moment coming up for both. And I do have the old Hurt card. You know, this card for me signifies that you have not both have not forgiving somebody else and themselves something. This could be thoughts like, why did I take so long to realize what was going on? Why did I stay in the situation for too long? And this card for me, it's the card of forgiveness, about needing to forgive yourself and another person. And what I always tell my clients that, for example, Ho'oponopono would be a good method to tackle that problem. And then we do have the devil as well. And the devil for me is nothing else but the ego. It's like those cartoons when you see the devil sitting on one shoulder and the angel sitting on the other. And it's that inner conflict. It's about, yes, I know I have those feelings, but then looking for reasons why it can't work. It's things like, well, if he really loves me, then he should have told me by now, for example. And this card for me signifies this inner conflict, meaning there's one part that says, yes, I really want this. And then there's the other part, the scared part, who is not ready to go on forward right now. But we do have the Ten of Pentacles here, meaning both want this. So I just assume that during your development, there's just things coming up again. And there is the need to forgive. Maybe it is forgiving each other, themselves, or people from the past, past wounds. I do want to clarify with this deck. I have to say this deck does contain nudity, so if you're scared of nudity, please close your eyes for now. But I do want to see what is going on there and how's the development here. I already saw it. We do have the Lovers. See, there is a big chance. Oh, we do have the same card again. We do have the Seven of Cups twice. In the Seven of Cups here, you see it's those sirens, those mermaids who drown sailors. And to me, this card signifies that something is pulling you down, or maybe overthinking, as I said, but you can tell there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So there is a phase of a crisis. And maybe also this card for me represents, look, she's got that shield and she's like, you don't come closer. I don't want you to come closer right now. Not in this energy. It's about maybe on one side wanting this love, but on the other side not being ready because she doesn't want to get hurt again as well. And then we have all those queens. It's about stepping in her own power and making sure that she knows what she wants, and also maybe taking action. Taking action, I don't mean necessarily towards him, but towards feeling better for herself. But in the end, we do have the Lovers as well. So what I see here is some crisis that needs to be worked on. I don't think so much that it is between those two. I think it's past stuff, because we do have the Tower as well. And to me, the Tower is often a symbol of oppressed things suddenly coming up. And those old pains causing the devil, like not being really open. One part really wants this, but the other part, and by part, I don't mean one person, and the other person, I mean a part inside of yourself really wants this, but is still really scared. So I really, really would advise to work on those issues in order to attract those Lovers. But we will see what we do have here as well with the Oracle cards. Okay, we do have Moses. And it says take the situation in your hand. Again, this is kind of like the magician. It's about there is something that needs to be done. And oh, I just realized we do have make the effort as well. So I think Divine Feminine, he has this problem with rejection, yes, but I see him coming to terms with it. I see the crisis card here. I think it's more like this part, Divine Feminine part, that is still not open completely to receive that love. Because again, take action, make the effort, and then we do have reconciliation. Again, we do have the lovers as well, and we do have reconciliation. So to me, you have a really, really, really big chance to make this work. But it's again, it's working. Then we do have dating, which to me means like starting new, you know. As soon as all those old cycles are closed, you start in the beginning. Of course, there is still that you do have a past. I don't see dating to be a different person, but I think you start new, meaning you have leave all that stuff behind that stopped you from being together, and then you can start fresh and new with light-hearted energy. And then we do have demonstrate love. Find out what is important to the people you love and act on it. Again, we do have so much action, but I think that the demonstrate love may also be self-love, self-worth that she has to demonstrate. You know, this card for me often means setting your own boundaries, not only towards the other person, but or a specific person, but towards other people. It may indicate setting your boundaries at work as well, for example. And yeah, we do have demonstrate love. Let's see what the charms have to say. No, I want to do those first. Those are channeled messages I wrote from the Divine Masculine to his Divine Feminine. Let's see what he wants to say. So overall, yeah, there is some problem that needs to be resolved, but I don't really see it as impossible. Not at all. Not at all, actually. And there is love. There is love on both sides. I mean, he has luck. He has the star. He has the Prince of Cups. He wants to make the effort. But he can't, you know. Divine Feminine, he's not allowed to, because we have this card. It's the Divine Protection. Meaning he can only come forward as soon as your own soul says, okay, she learned whatever she had to learn. And she's ready now to receive it. Okay. He is telling her, I am mad at myself for not speaking up when I had the chance. Maybe that is what caused some of that hurt, but he does want to do it. Your beauty intimidates me. Yeah, the Queen of Wands can also be the beautiful woman. I don't think I deserve you, but I want you. Again, this is his card. This is his fear of rejection, of not being good enough. But he will overcome it. I'm scared to get hurt again. I think that applies to both of you, actually. I'm making plans for our future. He does. We do have the star, the magician. He does. I'm awakening to this connection. I believe that is true as well. I want to hold you while we're sleeping. That is some really nice messages from Divine Masculine to his Feminine. But let's check out our charms. Maybe we can see more in here. Okay. And again, we do have the worry doll. That's what I saw first. And this implies worrying too much, overthinking. I already was talking about this because we do have the Seven of Cups twice. And to me, it's the card of pulling yourself down, which can be, I don't want to say depression, but, you know, being in a state where you are in a crisis, where you're not feeling too well. Oh, look, we have two. Both are worrying. Lots of worry. There's mirroring. But I think he's a step ahead right now. Money could be an issue. Financial situation. That is also maybe causing some of those problems. Or that he wants to build it up in order to provide, of course. We do have a little, anarchy. A little turmoil right now. But that's what I saw earlier. Oh, look. You've got two doves. again, we do have mirroring, and this symbolizes for me not necessarily the twin flames, yes, too, but also strong soulmate connection, the yin yang symbol, and then we have two turtle doves. That is beautiful. I love it when we have mirrors. Both wanted. Okay. If there is a third party situation, because more than one queen came out, and I do have the snake, there is this eye symbolizes for me that there's somebody who's jealous, or maybe you're dealing with jealousy. If there is still a third party situation, I don't see another woman in his head or heart space telling me that even if there is somebody, you know that there is still somebody, it's nobody he loves anymore. It's something he already left behind him emotionally, and maybe he just has to do it physically, leaving that situation. But also, this may indicate that you think there is somebody and you're jealous, and there is nobody else in his head or heart. Maybe that is something you just assume, and it's not even true. Then we do have the sun. Sun is about happiness, and the star, wish fulfillment for you too. We do have two signs. We do have Capricorn and Leo. So maybe either those are strong in your charts, doesn't have to be. It also talks about being ambitious and being generous. But it could also mean that there is significant change for you between the Capricorn season, which is coming up, end of this month, actually, end of December. It's from January to August. Maybe in between that period, there's significant change. But Divine Feminine, we do have all those cards. Make the effort, take situations in your hand. And again, by take situations in your hand, I don't mean contact him. I mean taking care of this, right? So if you don't do this, of course, it won't come in between that time. We do have this wonder lamp. It's like, for me, it means wishes coming true. We do have this wild horse. It's about being free and not worrying too much. So I think you will get out of that situation. Then we do have the guitar. The guitar may indicate that one of you is a musician. This music has a specific meaning for you. But also, music to me means raising your frequency, raising your vibration. Everything you can do that is artistic will help you to get more into your own center. And then we do have the key, and the key for me stands for security, which reminds me of the 10 of Pentacles, which we get in between the two of you. So I do think you have a very, very strong bond, There is some healing that needs to be done, yes, but basically it's, self-made. It's worrying too much. It's about letting it go more. And then we do have the Lovers, and reconciliation. So you definitely do have a great chance. And Divine Masculine, he loves his feminine. He really does. It's just about not being ready right now, because you don't want to get together if you're not ready, because then it won't work, because then there will be more and more and more triggering, and you're going in circles, and it's about breaking those cycles, right? So yes, anyway, that is what I have for pile number 1. It is a general reading. If you want a personal reading and to find out maybe what is the issue, what he needs to look at specifically, then you can of course contact me. But for now, this was your reading. I hope you liked it. If you did, I would appreciate if you would give me a like and subscribe for more readings. And I am trying to post daily. Yeah. But now we go to number 2. Number 2, this one is for you. I will put your oracle cards aside, and we will start with the tarot cards. And let's see where your divine counterpart connection is at right now, or your love interest connection. look, 10 of Cups wanted to come out as well. We'll take it then. And we do have the Hierophant as overall energy, which means it is protected. Okay. Good that this card came out, because I miscounted and I took one too little. I needed 18 and now I have 18. I wasn't sure whether I had 17 or 18. Okay. This looks nice. Okay, there is some things that needs to be resolved as well. We do have the Devil in between you, and the Devil for me stands for the ego. It is that part of you that says yes to the connection, and the part of you that says no, because maybe you're scared of getting hurt again. It's to me, the Devil represents the ego, and it sometimes can represent mind game, fighting about, no, I have to be right, not wanting to give in, or wanting stuff right now and not giving it to the divine. Remember, we do have the Hierophant as the overall energy, and the Hierophant for me is the card that talks about divine guidance and also divine timing. And the Devil might be the cards like, now I want it right now, this is my ego, and you know, also sometimes thoughts like, if that person would love me, then he or she would show me, but this person doesn't show me, so they might not love me. You know, it's that things you tell yourself in your head about why this can't be. You know, it's that inner conflict, inner fight. And since that card is in between you, you both have it right now. Overall, nevertheless, Divine Feminine is at a good place right now, very good place. I think she is developing self-love, which is very important for these soft connections. And she is, yeah, we have the Chariot with her, which to me talks about fast development. The only negative cards I do have with her right now are the Eight of Cups, and this card talks about, in this deck, not being able to act or feeling tired. I don't think it's about leaving him behind, because we have the Love and the Lovers, the Nine of Cups and the Ten of Cups, so Divine Feminine has strong emotions for him. But I don't know, when you're watching this right now, we do have portal days, which can be a little draining sometimes, and this might be what she's feeling right now. She's feeling a bit drained. Maybe she's feeling a bit drained again about her own head. You know, her heart is sure that she wants this connection. I mean, lovers. But sometimes, you know, our mind gets in the middle, and then we do have to see, what do we really want. Divine Masculine, this side, he loves her too. It may be that he is still in a third-party situation, because we do have another Queen here, and to me, I read cards intuitively, and to me, this card, if it's in this specific reading, to me represents that there's still another person. The Queen of Wands can be negatively the woman that is trying to overpower another person. It can be, for me, again, I'm an intuitive reader, talk about manipulation, trying to hold somebody down. And then we do have this card, the Ten of Swords, and for me the Ten of Swords talks about you need to end something and to making a decision. Yeah, I do have a specific deck, and there's two pathways on this card, and one is leading into the burning wood, and the other one is leading to this nice other path where there's the moon. And to me, this indicates, if I go this path, if I go along this path where I'm at right now, I'm not going to get happy, but I'm scared of taking the other path, or I don't know how exactly. But this card to me signifies that he knows he has to end something. He knows that he has to change something, and he wants to, because we do have the High Priestess, and for me, when I have the High Priestess in this reading, it indicates soulmate relationship, or twin flame soulmate, whatever, divine relationships. And he is a little overthinking right now, and similar to pile 1, we have the exact two cards, but pile 1 had those in his heart space. This card talks about being, fear of being abandoned, fear of not being good enough. But we do have this card and the Prince of Pentacles in this deck. You can say he can tell that he is harvesting. He was working on something and now he is harvesting. So this card for me means he's working on that problem. And then also we do have peace. This in this deck, this card talks about peace and inner peace, about getting to in peace with a specific fear he has. And then again, we do have, as I said, the other woman in the first future card, but I think he is getting out of it, because then for you two, we do have the sun, which is success, and the star. And the star talks about the divine, saying not giving up, about your wishes will come true. So it's a beautiful reading. I think he is really about to make those changes. We have those right here. Of course, changes are scary. That maybe the devil, is telling him, if you go now, then that might happen. But I really think he is going to jump, and I think this reconciliation is happening sooner than in the previous pile. Also, although I think they also get a reconciliation, but in this pile, different than the first, Divine Feminine, she's a very, very, very good place. And I always tell my clients, if Divine Feminine is in her middle, then I always say it's like a scale. In Divine Feminine and Masculine, they share their feelings. They share 100% feminine and masculine energy. And usually in the beginning, Divine Feminine gets out of her center and she gets into the distorted feminine energy. And let's say she has 70% feminine energy for herself, and it's about being scared, the distorted feminine. It's about being impatient, holding on too much. And then there's only 30% of the feminine energy left for the guy. Feminine energy means emotional energy. And then he also has to balance it. And that means that he has to go to the masculine energy for like 70% masculine, distorted masculine energy, which means oppressing feelings, disconnecting, breaking it off. And the Divine Feminine notices that he is leaving, and she gets scared even more, and she tries to hold on even more, and then he just goes further and further into the distorted masculine energy. But as soon as Divine Feminine notices that she has to work on her stuff that is coming up, she gets into the center, and then Divine Masculine is put into the center as well, which means everything that he has oppressed is suddenly coming up, and he has to work through that. And I think we see that pretty well here, because Divine Feminine is very centered. We have all those beautiful cards, and now he knows he has to make a decision. Now his stuff is coming up, his fears are coming up, and he's working through those, because she's really holding the light, she's holding the middle. And that is why I think you will get your happy ending with the sun and the star. But let's see what the oracle cards have to say. Free yourself from drama. Yeah, that's the devil card. Free yourself from that little drama that's left. We do have children. Children may have meaning in your love life, or may influence your love life. That's what it says. Maybe he is still married and there are children. That's what he's scared of, leaving. This can also represent a new beginning for me, and the inner child, of course. Then we have romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and are worth of being explored more. I like it. Both have those feelings. 21, choose love. That's what he's doing. He's choosing love. You always have a choice as what you should do. And we have sexual freedom. Okay, we don't have take it too literal right now, but what I see right now is those doves coming together. It's about uniting. And I think, it's a union, you can tell. I think he really wants to unite with you. But let's see what these channeled cards say. Messages from the Divine Masculine to his feminine. What you want to tell your feminine. Okay. Those flipped. Okay. Please stop pushing me away. Maybe that is not pushing, but this card can talk about the Divine Feminine disconnecting a little to take care of her own needs, even though she still is with him emotionally. So maybe it's not pushing him away, but maybe he doesn't feel your energy right now, and which causes him to feel that fear of not being what's the word, of being rejected. I'm still mad at you. That's the devil card. Can also talk about being mad at something, but again, I don't think that is going to last long. I love you. You make me want to be a better person. I think of you when I touch myself. Yet we do have that sexual energy here as well. I love how beautiful you are. I want to take you on a date. Oh. And you're so damn sexy. Yeah, we do have that sexual energy. He likes you. But not only that way. I mean, this card to me indicates a soulmate relationship or a twin flame relationship. So it's not just that. But let's see. Okay. I love that I have two skulls, because those are similar to me like the death card in tarot, and they talk about transformation, changes, and when I have two, it means for one that you're mirroring each other, which is lovely, of course, in these kind of connections, but also it talks about you both making changes, not just changes, but transforming into a higher level. Oh look, just noticed a ring. He wants to commit to you. Okay. Wow, we have two of those. Those eyes with this how do you call it, like slit pupil? I don't know how to say it in English. These kind of pupils, to me mean that there is somebody envious or somebody is not meaning well with you and your connection. Maybe there is a third party that he still has someone. This can talk about jealousy. You know, it just means watch out. Not everybody is rooting for this connection. Or jealousy may be an issue. Maybe that's something you might have to work on, even though, yeah, devil card, I don't think it's a big issue for you because it's not in your heart space or head space, but the devil card can talk about that as well. So we have that. These eyes mean that he wants to see you. If you're not in touch right now, he wants to see you. He feels very connected to you. He is maybe a little kinky, so maybe that may indicate something else, having a little fun. We do have two letters, J and K, if they mean anything to you. If not, it's okay. This to me indicates not to overthink, just like letting your thoughts flow like in the wind. I love this because this to me talks about changes that are coming soon. No, okay, and then, okay. This actually talks about things happening fast, soon, and this talks about I need a little time, which means I think he needs a little more time, but then all of a sudden it's going very fast. Yeah, I mean, we've got this issue he has to deal with, and then the second card already is Sun and Star. We do have another Sun here, which is beautiful, because again, Sun talks about happiness, commitment, and we do have both of these. You can tell they're like a spiral, and the white ones to me talk about more the 3D life, and those more about the 5D life, and it means to me like making a decision, coming closer to your decision. It's about not narrowing down, but focusing, getting closer to the end point, basically, about jumping, about finally acting on it. Then we do have this. It's about, again, it's about falling in love quickly, but also about quick happenings and about being focused on something. He's focused on you, you're focused on each other. There is messages coming. For me, blue is not the divine masculine, it is the divine feminine. Maybe you are the one who's initiating contact. Take what resonates. Don't, if it doesn't feel right, then don't. Sometimes it's really important that the guy does it. But the blue cell phone for me is usually the divine feminine that is taking some action. Then what else do we have? We do have a little locket, means you want a sincere relationship, being, locked. We do have flowers, surprises. We do have this stroller, which talks about, it can literally mean children, of course, but it can also mean new beginnings. We do have the car. Car for me stands for it's going forward, but also about taking trips, or if you have longer distance, about traveling to see each other. The bunny can talk about fertility, new beginnings, also about springtime. Already have the flower, it's about surprises, and we see this little birdie, and he is also offering a surprise. Till then, relax, and we do have the pig. I don't know what pig means, and it's from the Chinese astrology set that I bought. I don't know what pig. In German, it's like luck. It's about luck, being lucky. And again, we do have commitment. So, yeah, I think your union is not very far. He just has to do some choices or act on those choices that he's already making right now. And the Divine Feminine, I think you're basically the very, very, very good place. Just make sure that sometimes the devil energy, that overthinking doesn't creep in. If it does, just center yourself. That will help him to center as well, and then he can come forward even faster. But he will. I mean, you've got sun and star in the future. That is just amazing. Anyway, that was your reading, pile number 2. If you liked it, I would appreciate if you would give me the thumbs up. And if you would subscribe, of course. I am available for private readings, and I am trying to post daily updates, quickies, love quickies on your Divine Counterpart relationship. But now we go to pile number 3. This nice sparkling green one. So, pile number 3, I will put your oracle cards aside for now. I'm sorry, I need to drink some tea. In winter, my throat is always too dry for that heating. So, number 3. Let's see what you've got, where you're at. I pulled one too little. Okay. I can tell I will have to clarify something later. But for now, yeah. I think you are at an okay place, both of you. There is love on both sides. Divine Feminine has the lovers and the love card, and Divine Masculine has the Ace of Cups on his side. What I'm seeing right now, though, is that there is still a little healing that needs to be done, but Divine Feminine, you can do it. We do have this card, and you see there's all this blood dripping. And to me, this card means that there is some past hurt that is not healed yet. It may be due to him, but also other people in your life, former relationships, friendships, family situations. Very often this card to me indicates a painful ending, sometimes even death, but it means that you, Divine Feminine, have not forgiven somebody else for hurting you, and you have not forgiven yourself. And forgiven yourself to me means thoughts like, why have I been in this situation for that long? Why didn't I get out sooner? Why didn't I realize sooner? Why have I done this and that and that? For example, I always tell my clients that for me a good method to look at this topic would be Ho'oponopono, but it's just one different topic. See what resonates with you. There's so many guided meditations on YouTube as well about forgiving, but we do have this card, the 7 of Wands, on top, and in this deck it means bravery. So this tells me that you can absolutely tackle that situation and get it done. What I also see, Divine Feminine, is you are pretty much stable. Pretty much stable. There are things coming up right now, maybe because when I'm doing this reading, we do have portal days, and it's a time where things are coming up. But this card, to me, it's called Failure, indicates the fear of failure, or even more, it's for me the fear of loss, of not making it work, or not being loved. I think it's the, I do have two cards talking about this. This is the weaker card, which I like. It's about, yeah, the fear of abandonment or being lost. Loss is the topic for this card. And you do have the Emperor in your heart as well, though. And the Emperor for me is a very stable card, which tells me that I think you are very, very stable. It's just you're in a situation where some oppressed things come up right now, because healing is often happening in circles or in cycles, and right now there is just a situation where you have some traces of old things surfacing, but you can absolutely deal with them because you're very stable. And this card to me talks about raising your frequency, raising your vibration. Do whatever you can that makes you feel good in order for those shadows to leave. And again, tackle this card. It's about, forgiveness. He loves you. He's maybe overthinking a little too much. I don't think he's acting very much towards you right now, because we do have this card, and it's I don't know the English word for it, but it means like being unable to move or feeling really tired and standing still, basically. And then we have this card here, which to me talks about, for example, depression or addiction. Doesn't have to be as bad, especially since I have beautiful cards surrounding it. But this card tells me that he's not feeling very well right now mentally. But we do have the peace card right on top of it, and we do have lust. Lust can indicate sexual lust, of course, towards you, but to me, not only that. It's about wanting to live, wanting to feel better, everything that makes you feel good. So this card tells me that maybe he's not feeling too well right now, but it is going to get better. And then we do have the Chariot as well, which also means progress. And I can tell that your relationship is going to develop. It's not going to develop fast, because we do have the Eight of Pentacles, and you see there is a tree. And always say a tree is not growing overnight. It needs some time to grow. But also a tree is always rooted, which tells me that even if this may take a while, this is something that can last for a long, long period of time. He's not the type of guy who comes in fast as soon as he's healed and then leaves again. If he does, then that tells me that there's still some triggering, some cycles that needs to be closed. But as soon as he's at that point where he is ready, and you're ready as well, of course, then this can last for a long, long time. What I do see coming up in the future, again, is though we do have the Tower card, and then the card that talks about fear of rejection, fear of not being good enough, self-worth, self-love, which may indicate that there will be some more triggering if, Divine Feminine, you don't tackle this problem sooner. Look into that problem. Do things that feel good for you. This card, again, indicates raising your frequency, treating yourself well. And this card, again, talks to me about the fear of abandonment, which means that there may be some abandonment issues that need to be resolved. Maybe it's, the same person. It's that hurt that has not healed yet. And he may have the same issues. But I do want to clarify. I'm using those cards. Those cards do contain nudity, so if you don't want to see it, just close your eyes. And again, we do have the same card coming out, the Eight of Cups, and again, it's the same word, which it's not like in the Rider-Waite about leaving something behind and looking for the other two cups. This means like being unable to do anything. It's about being, this word means like being very, very tired. It tells me that there's not fast movements. Okay, that's more cards than I wanted. I'll take this one. So, what else do we have? The High Priestess, for me, this indicates soulmates, divine counterpart relationship. So there is a deep, deep, deep bond between you. There is loss, fear of loss. There is an old loss that is not healed yet. But then it will take another turn, because we do have, again, mirroring the same cards, Two of Swords. And this card means, this word means peace in German. Being peaceful, and you see there's soldiers who are coming forwards one another, and this word means offer, making an offer. And then we do have another card of making an offer. So he will make an offer. And this card means stability. So that's what I said in the beginning. You will get a very, very, very stable relationship. It's not a fast development, but as soon as he's there, and again, he can't come before you, Divine Feminine, have felt those issues, because otherwise you will trigger it again and again and again and again and again. But you can, because you have bravery. You can absolutely deal with it. But let's see what your oracle cards tell me. Yeah, this word means like tenacity or insistence. A card that talks about not giving up, and you shouldn't give up. You shouldn't abandon this relationship. Again, this is not a word that implies that it takes a while. Tenacity, it's not fast. You have to be a little stubborn to see it through, but this card means see it through. Yeah, we have forgiving and learning. That's exactly what I said. There needs to be something forgiven. And pay attention to the red flags. The red flags for me here are triggering, because we do have really the chance for the happy ending here. We do have that peaceful offer. But if he's triggering you again, it's important that you see, that you check, what is he doing? Is he giving me, is he abandoning me? Is he giving me the feeling of rejection? Then it is your task, Divine Feminine, to see, how am I rejecting myself in some way? Am I rejecting myself? Do I love myself? Do I treat myself the way I should? Do I treat my body the way I should by consuming healthy food and not smoking, for example? Am I good to myself? Always see, what is he doing towards you? If you feel like he doesn't love you, you can ask yourself, do I love myself? Or have I had similar situations in the past that I have not healed yet? Because we do have forgiving and healing. Nevertheless, we have be supportive. Make a genuine effort to show you care. I think that effort should be towards yourself right now, more than him. And the silver waterfall. To me, this indicates also cleansing. You know, getting underneath the water and cleansing, and then getting rid of all those old pains in order to move on. But we will see what else he has to say to you, Divine Feminine, what his higher self has to say. And then I will pull some charms. If this resonates, Divine Feminine, I would appreciate if you would give me the thumbs up. And if you want to find out more, it's a general reading. I am available for private readings. This card's turned. I'm sorry, my voice is a bit sore right now. It's probably the heating. And I can feel those portal days actually as well. Oh, I love this one. Your light-hearted energy draws me in. And this is what we do have here. What I said, raise your frequency. Bring it up, your energy. Do things whatever you like that feel good to you. You may not be my usual type, but I love you exactly the way you are. I think of you when I touch myself. You're the same one in the last pile. I am sorry for hurting you. Please forgive me. So he may have been one of those persons who hurt you, but still I believe he was sent to you to trigger your old stuff. So don't just heal things he triggered. Go beyond that. See, ask yourself, why did his soul trigger you? What was he meant to do? Please send me a sign. I need to know that you still care. Okay, we do have something similar here. Make a genuine offer to show you care. Maybe he does need a little sign. Don't overdo it, Divine Feminine. Only do it if it does feel right. Again, don't do it out of fear. Don't do it because of there's any negative emotion. Only do it if it does feel right, and don't overdo it. You know, it can be like a simple thing like wishing a Merry Christmas, for example. You know, this does not mean write him a 10-page love letter. is a sign, okay, a simple sign. Post something, for example, on your social media that he can take as a sign from you. But again, don't overdo it. It's a little thing. I have never met anyone like you before. Yeah, you're different. You're different, but he likes that you're different. It's like the card before, you know. You're not my usual type, but I like you. I'm not happy without you. Maybe that's why we do have that crisis card here, but he also has to heal his stuff, right? I know we have telepathic conversations. Nice. Didn't I see the yeah, I think yeah. The High Priestess for me also talks about telepathy or having that spiritual connection. So, let's see your charms. Sorry. Yeah, he will contact you. We do have the red phone. And the previous pile we had the blue one. For me, blue stands for Divine Feminine and red or pink for the Divine Masculine. Because one of all, I do rebel against, I mean, I like pink, as you can tell. And if you would see my living room, you would be shocked. It's pretty pink. But I don't like that pink is for girls and blue is for boys. Bullshit. I think every color has its own frequency, and you just feel attracted to a color that maybe you need that frequency at that point. But I chose pink for boys, also for men, because until like 100 years ago it was the color of men, and blue was for girls because blue is more gentle. It is calming and it talks about communication. It's more connected to the feminine energy, whereas pink or red colors are more masculine, about taking action. Red is color of action, distorted also of aggression. So to me, pink phone means that the guy is taking action or calling or whatever. Then we do have those little tea bag thingies. This says in German, okay, it is one task in life to know and love and to know one another, to love one another, and to trust one another. That's pretty. We do have some letters. We do have a C and a J and an N, if those have any meanings for you. If not, it's okay. We do have a big heart, so there is love involved. And look, we have more hearts. We have more hearts, lots of hearts. Yeah. So we have those hearts that are intertwined. We have the big heart. We have this lovely little heart. And we do have the key with heart and wings. To me, this talks about, no, it's a locked love. It's locked in. It's going to happen. And it's also very inspirational. But also, wings for me stand for like being free and being free of all pain, indicating healing. Then we do have a snake here, which also indicates healing. And you see there's a spiral. It's like going into the middle. It's like going somewhere together. It's like how healing is. You're going in circles, but eventually you will get there. Something has to end though. First, this card means about endings. I don't think this is going to end. Maybe for some of you, you will draw in another person, but I think for most of you, this is your very high spiritual divine counterpart, and something, maybe there's another situation that has to end first. We do have fish. Fish stand for deep emotions, because water is the element of emotions and fish can go deep. We do have the skull. I like it a lot. It's like the death card in tarot. For me, the skull means transformation and change and also healing. We do have more healing. This indicates that it takes a little while though. But I like, you see those two horses in the middle? It's again about not worrying. It's about, in the meantime, having fun and just doing things you like. And this can indicate overthinking, don't think too much, but also about making plans for the future. It's nothing that goes quick. I mean, chess is a very slow game. We have another letter. I do have an I. But to me, it is about, yeah, making plans, basically. Huh, that just scared me. What else do we have? I just took them. So we do have music. We have a guitar and notes. So music may be significant to you. Maybe one of you is an artist. Maybe both of you are artists. Maybe you get, maybe divine is sending you, the other person's higher self is sending you signals through music. But also music for me means raising your frequency, raising your vibration, having fun. Everything you do for fun is helping you. Then we do have a rose from romance, dating. There will be dating. We do have two of those, how do you call it, sewing machines. And those for me mean that there is something that needs to be worked on. Working on yourself, working on a relationship. It takes a little effort. But he wants to make this happen. He wants to roll the dice. Like he wants to gamble. And yeah, it's about luck. What else do we have? We do have a spoon. Spoons for me means like getting to know one another better, because it's with a spoon you consume something, and yeah, it's like consuming one another, learning something about another person, or maybe learning something about your own past or ascending. We do have a Pegasus. As I said, horses to me mean being wild and free, and this horse even has wings. It's about, yeah, getting to a happy place, basically. A cross, it means for me it is faded. Do we have two of those? I was talking about a heart before. No, it's this one. But yeah, I mentioned that one. We do have a star that talks about wish fulfillment. Flowers, positive surprises. Again, something that is binding you, like connecting you. To me, bows mean new beginnings. And it's funny that we have a bow and a knot, because those for me mean new beginnings, and the knots for me mean past life relationship, because it's really tight. And so this is for me significator for past life relationships, soulmates, whatever, being connected, tied up. Not in a negative way. It's one of my favorites, actually. And this talks about being able to make a new beginning, one that can last, because we do have the key as well. So anyway, that was your reading, pile number 3. I hope you liked it. If you did, I would appreciate if you would subscribe me and like me. And I am available for personal readings as well. And I'm sorry for my sore throat right now. But yeah, I hope you're all well and have a nice day. Bye.